I had no time to process this exceedingly stupid episode title because the episode started. Again, normal production values, the right actors and actresses, and it looked like a normal Enterprise episode. The Enterprise was floating around space, not too far away from a planet. The shot then cut to the bridge, and everything seemed perfectly normal outside of the captain chair being empty. Malcolm Reed was working at his terminal, a small scowl on his face. He looked up over at Hoshi, who was sitting at her terminal a small distance away. "Can you buzz him again?" he asked, shaking his head. "Bloody ridiculous. Should have been up here 2 hours ago. Happening more and more lately." Hoshi hit a button on her terminal. Captain Archer were waiting her arrival on the bridge. Status? The reply was a series of loud farting noises and grunts. "Captain Archer? Are you okay?" Hoshi asked. "No, I'm not okay," was the reply from Captain Archer. He kept pausing to grunt and groan, and the farting noises continued in the background. "Because my communications officer won't stop buzzing in my ear every 5 fucking minutes." "We need you down on the bridge immediately, Captain. What are you doing up there?" "Oh, for the love of... What do you think I'm doing? Aren't you supposed to be a linguistics expert? Or are you simply unfamiliar with this particular dialect?" The farting and grunting continued, and I was getting freaked out. "Understood, Captain," Hoshi said, terminating the connection. Reed had his face in his hands. "Oh, I should have listened to my mother. The Royal Navy sounds pretty good right now. Fear of Walter's side, I don't care no more." "It's not uncommon for gastric distress to make humans upset," T'Pol commented from her terminal. "I'm sure Captain Archer will be perfectly fine after he's gotten his issues sorted out." "He's never going to get his problems sorted out if he continues to eat White Castle for dinner every single night," Travis Mayweather said. "I mean, really, I don't know how he isn't sick of the stuff by now." The communicator buzzed to life. It was Trip, or Charles Tucker. "Hey, are we going to get moving anytime soon?" "We're waiting for Captain Archer to decide our next move," T'Pol replied. Seemed a little angry for a Vulcan. The next 2 minutes of the episode was just the camera running while the people on the bridge silently went about their tasks. Imagine the ratings this would have gotten. Just 2 minutes of nothing but sitting there and attending to their terminals. I was already pretty shaken up, so I was glad for the break. I pondered things in the episode so far. How did Archer eat White Castle every night, given the Enterprise is a great distance away from Earth, and it would be ridiculous to travel back there every day to pick up fast food? Was White Castle now supposed to be an interstellar franchise? Yeah, right. I don't remember that happening in any Enterprise episode. The pause in action also allowed me to realize that Archer's voice didn't quite sound like the actor, Scott, who played him. But I quickly wrote that off as communicator distortion. Anyway, the doors to the bridge opened and Archer walked in. Only it wasn't Archer. Well, something was very wrong. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. First, Archer wasn't being played by an actor, but was rather an animated cartoon superimposed into the live-action set. He didn't even look like an animated version of Captain Archer. The bottle of details were all wrong. He wasn't wearing a Starfleet uniform, but rather a suit. No, this wasn't Captain Jonathan Archer at all. This was Starling Archer. Oh God, I think I have post-traumatic stress disorder. I broke out into a cold sweat. This was impossible. Archer didn't begin airing until 2010, meaning it wasn't even conceived of until years after Enterprise got canceled. And it didn't make any sense for the entire cast of Enterprise to get back together 5 years after the show was over just to do a bizarre crossover that nobody even knew about. But just as quickly, the action picked up again, and I forgot my questions. God! Archer shouted. There's no privacy on the shitbox! He was carrying a large green bottle of what appeared to be liquor. He sounded a lot angrier than I remember him sounding like on his show. What's the big crisis? We've arrived at the planet, but there's been an unexpected problem. The entire planet is being orbited by millions of little asteroids. It's almost like a shield protecting the entire thing. We need to decide how to proceed. Okay. Try, pointing the ship at the planet and putting the pedal to the metal. We should be there in no time. Didn't you hear what I just said? They're little asteroids. Yes, little. You just said it. Little asteroids. He took a swig out of his bottle. Pretty sure the ship we are currently on, is the biggest ship in all of Starfleet and is definitely bigger than a little asteroid. Reed paused for several seconds. Yes, I suppose that's true. So, between this NX-class starship and a small piece of space junk in a collision, which one do you think comes out worse? Pretty sure the ship wins that battle 100 times out of 100. God! I'm surrounded by idiots! It's not like we're in the danger zone. Stop bothering me with this little shit. Reed sighed, then mentioned to Hoshi. She patched Reed into the engineering deck. Full speed ahead, Trip, he deadpanned. You're kidding me, right? What happened to those plans we spent all morning coming up with? Captain Archer has made his choice, Reed replied. Full speed ahead. Huh. I'm starting to think there's something wrong with Captain Archer. Remember 2 weeks ago when he ejected his dog into space? I mean, that was weird. The next several minutes of the episode showed the Enterprise rocketing through a very thick asteroid field, getting pelted by the little space rocks with explosive results. Eventually, a couple bigger asteroids smashed into the ship, completely destroying entire sections. Occasionally, a section of the ship that had a hull breach was shown. Several people getting sucked out into space and suffocating or getting smashed by debris. Miraculously, most of the ship stayed together as it cleared the asteroids, but also began a fast and uncontrolled descent towards the planet's surface. As for me, I was still appalled by the idea of Captain Archer ejecting Porthos into space. Something he would most certainly never do. Finally, the ship crash-landed in what looked like a massive jungle. How the thing didn't get completely destroyed in the crash with the ground, I'm not sure. The scene cut to the main characters of the show, standing outside the wreckage, all looking surprisingly healthy and well. Oh, good job, Captain. Good bloody job. Your highly capable stewardship has gotten a prize vessel completely destroyed and stranded on an unknown and uncharted planet. Well, obviously, I just assumed the navigator of the ship wasn't gonna suck all kinds of ass when going through the asteroids. I mean, holy shit. How did you ever get your space license? Whatever. What do we do now? If there's any sentient population on this planet, they should be here any minute to investigate the crash, T'Pol said. Initial scans of the planet's surface weren't entirely reliable, thanks to the asteroids, but I suspect some form of life exists here. Okay, so we gotta clear out of here. Maybe try to go blend in a heavily populated area. Archer looked around. Which way do we go, guys? Come on! What kind of uncharted do you not understand? We don't know anything about this planet. We don't even know if these aliens are humanoid. Do they have a White Castle? 'Cause I, sort of skipped lunch. And breakfast. Yeah, we sort of have another problem here. The aliens are definitely going to find the pieces of the ship, which is almost definitely going to be a violation of the Prime Directive. Genius. Pretty sure aliens don't have the power to change the basic tenets of numbers and math. What are you talking about? I'm talking about how in the shit will aliens be able to violate the fact that a number that has no positive divisors other than 1 in itself is a... Not prime numbers, you idiot! The Prime Directive! It's not divisible! You know that thing that we learned 1,000,000 times over? The Academy. I was sick a lot at Academy. Give me the short version. No! What part of this do you not understand? Apparently, the entire concept. I am not giving the acting captain of the Enterprise the short version of the Prime Directive. That's not happening. Our best move is to hope the alien species on this planet is friendly, and wait for the Federation to send rescue. Are you guys alright? The camera panned over to show a truly terrible sight. 2 aliens that looked absolutely identical to Jar Jar Binks were standing there, looking at the party of explorers. Immediately, Archer reached into his chest pocket and pulled out a small pistol, firing twice at the 2 aliens. Both bullets penetrated their skulls, and they fell over dead before they hit the ground. What the shit, Archer? They were trying to create us! To the untrained eye, could look like that. But I possess situational awareness. And believe me when I say, all is not as it seems on the surface.